Shane Waldron is out. Thomas Brown is in. We're going to have a little bit of Cutler talk. Is it Bagent? Is it Caleb? Man, y'all come join us. Hey, here we go right now. Welcome, and here we go to the Briggs And Brown Show. Listen to me. All right, we got some good stuff to talk about. We got a new OC in the house. SEC guy. SEC guy. I don't really like it that much because, he's a big Georgia guy. He played running back, all that for that. And SEC guy. He's an SEC guy, though. So he get a little check mark already off the rip from your boy, So what do you think, Briggs? What do you think about that?
That doesn't bother me. What I like is your opening. And here we go. And let's go. Let's go. Hit me a go. Listen. A change was needed. Yep. A change was needed. A change is here. And the thing that I guess worries me is that the new guy was the pass coordinator. I wasn't overly thrilled with our pass decisions moving into this deal. So I wonder how much Shane Waldron had in that. You got a guy go, what is that? That's so random, man.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Well, you shouldn't just have guys walking through your back of your screen.
Hey, spraying for stuff, man. We got to get the bugs out. The wife, she don't play that. So, hey.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But I wonder, what Shane Waldron's influence was over the pass game and obviously the pass coordinator. But really, if you're called the pass coordinator, you're coordinating the passes that are being called, correct? So
designing them. I think he's designing them. Right, he's designing the pass plays throughout the week. I really like it to. I'd like to compare it to what. I like to compare it to when Ron Rivera left and Bob Babbitt took over. We're running the same defense, right? We're running the same defense. How come we got completely different
outcomes, results?
Yeah. How come we got we're running the same defense, same players? Why? Because it's when you call it. It's when you call stuff. How do you go about calling plays? I think that has a lot to do with it, and I'm anxious to see how he calls plays.
I'd like to compare it more to when Rod Marinelli took over and Lovie went out and flew out to Julius Pepper's house and said, "Hey, I'm not leaving without you signing." and Peppers came over, and then obviously we're back on top again, back in the NFC Championship game. So I can kind of see. I can kind of see what you're talking about.
I just want the viewers to know. All you added from the 2009 season to the 2010 season was Julius Peppers.
I'm just talking about the change. I'm talking about the change.
That's what I'm talking about. So all you added was Julius Peppers,
right? Same stuff. We just said the same stuff, man. What do you mean?
No, I'm asking the question. Is that true or no?
Wait, what are you saying? What's your question?
The only player you added from the 2009 season to defensively from 2009 to 2010 was Peppers, right?
Well, I'm just saying we had to get a little bit better. And that's what
you also got Urlacher because Urlacher didn't even play in the 2009 season. So had he played, we'd have went to a Super Bowl, but he did not play.
I know. Listen, man. Let's get beyond that, man. We're beyond that. Come on, let's get into this.
God, I'm excited about those two, man. I am.
What excites you the most about him?
Change.
It's not, grass ain't always greener on the other side.
No. You're absolutely right. But this grass right here on this side of the fence is dead. So we need some new grass. That's what I'm talking about. We need some grass. We at the beach and all we got is sand. It cannot grow. The grass is dead. There's no grass.
What's he call it? Sir Charles Barkley called it Galveston Beach.
Yeah.
You think you're on the beach? That's dirty water.
Oh yeah, dirt water, man. We needed that. We needed a change. It was looking bad. I mean, we got a lot of. I ain't talking about offensive line. We have a ton of weapons to play with, and we are not getting any production from the entire offense. That just can't be. There has to be something different that we can do. So I'm hoping that we're able to see that this week. If the offensive line can't block on a 5 and 7 step drop, stop calling it. I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, let me ask you,
which is fine. Hold on, Braggs. But again, if your offensive lineman, your patchwork offensive lineman win on your 5-step drop, then get the ball out in 4 seconds. Don't let it be beyond that, because that's a win. We get 4 seconds. The ball's supposed to be delivered within 4 seconds. So we know if it's beyond 4 seconds, that's on the quarterback.
If the play calls for that, if you call a play,
there were plenty of plays where that was beyond 4 seconds.
You can always find some. I'm not saying it's like 100%. You can find stuff. You can. What I'm saying is, don't call the plays that require him to hold the ball more than 4 seconds. That's it. Don't call them.
Right.
Right.
So to me, it's one of those things where, his biggest job obviously is to get the offense. I mean, the offense hasn't scored like 23 straight possessions now or something like that. And, the offense has been basically non-existent for 3 weeks. My concern is, 2 things where you have a new, like you said, he's the passing game coordinator coming in as the OC. And Caleb said in his press conference yesterday that they really haven't talked that much this year. And so that kind of confuses me a little bit. How can you be in a locker room and be a part of an offensive coaching staff and somebody that's, has the resume that Thomas Brown does? He was a former assistant head coach with Sean McVay when the Rams won the Super Bowl. He was the OC with the Panthers, but you barely talked to Caleb. And then the other aspect of it too that I thought was interesting was they said that Thomas Brown was running their Saturday meetings. Like that, Eberflus would step to the side and let Thomas Brown run the Saturday meetings. And I've, talking with Brian Baldinger the last few weeks, he talks about the importance of your guys' Saturday preps going into a game. And this is a team and an offense that leads the league in false starts. How many illegal motions? How many timeouts because they're about to get a delay a game? So, these are my questions. Like, hey, you're a part of this staff too. Now it's not like you're coming in fresh. You've been here, and all these mistakes have still been around. So how are fans supposed to believe that anything's really going to change?
We're not in. Go ahead. If you want to go, or you want me to take that one.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right, listen. We're not in that locker room. We don't know, and let's stop acting like we're surprised at guys getting a title and not doing that job. Who calls the defensive plays for this team? Eberflus. We have a defensive coordinator. That is Coach Washington. He does not call the plays. So let's not act like there are guys in this building that are doing the job that they're said they should be doing. When Eberflus says that he is moving to the side and allowing him to take over, what offensive meeting room is that Eberflus is running? No, that is a team meeting. That is a team meeting that he's talking about. It's not individual with the quarterbacks. It's not individual with the offensive skill players. So no, let's be smart here. Let's be smart.
I agree with you on that one. Well said. The fact that he said he barely talks to him, I don't know if there's a strategy there or not, but it's actually a little bit slightly comforting for me. Because if he's the passing coordinator and you barely talk to him, now guess what? You guys are going to start talking now.
Yes.
All right. And so if there's change, and that brings about change, maybe and all of us are hoping that this change is an effective one, and it it results in offensive productivity, then hell, that makes me feel a little bit better, because if he had said, listen, we talk every day, we talk about everything that's going on, then I would be concerned about change, because there's not really any change there. So at least this has some sort of sign, some significance, or that there might actually be some change from Waldron to the new guy.
No, for sure. Hey, is this not the best snack ever?
Back in 1988?
No. Like right now. Right now.
No, I don't. Bruh, you can't even
love this.
First, you like candy corn. Second, now you like Boston
baked beans. Don't act like you don't. You can see the box. You can see this.
My grandma used to eat those. Like,
seriously,
that's grandma.
Seriously, AB is kind of in that stratosphere now, where he has the grandma candy tray sitting on his, in the living room.
I bet you has those old fashioned butter cookies. The tin with butter cookies in there. Yep, you love those too, don't you?
Yeah.
No, I ain't have those. But I will be the grandpa with all, that always got the butterscotch in his pocket.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be that one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna always have butterscotch.
One more question for you guys that I'm curious to get your thoughts on. The other thing that was announced from Thomas Brown yesterday is that he'll be up in the booth. He won't be on the field when he calls plays. So I just wanted to hear your guys' perspective on what your preference is. I know you guys are both, coach, in your own right, obviously played. So just what your preference is for what you'd want an OC to be, and what the advantages and disadvantages are for being on the field versus in the box.
I'm personally a on the field guy. I would need somebody that I trust up in the booth, because I like to have a good feel for the game. So you can tell me what I'm seeing on the field. You can tell me up top, hey, this is what I'm looking at, and I know right now this is the defense we need to be in. Oh, okay, so then let's go here. And what's going to happen is on the headset, when I say, okay, listen, they're spreading us out. They're getting spread formation. All right, listen, we're gonna blitz them this way. All right, and I'll hear an echo from the coaches and say, I like this call, defensive line. I like that call right there, coach. Or coach, hey, we can't do that. All right, okay. Well, if that's kind of the case, then let's back us up. Let's back it up. Listen, it's first and 10. Let's get us in cover 3, or let's get us in cover 1. Listen, they don't have anybody that can stretch the field with their speed. I like us in man. We like that early on. So there's a lot going on and a lot of feedback that's bouncing back right now. But I like to have a good feel being on the field, not up in the booth.
I'm with it. I like that too. I like the energy on the field is different. You get you can look at the players, you can talk to the players, like everything Lance said. But for an offensive coordinator, I don't know, or a defensive coordinator, you're not looking at just one position. I'm not just focused on, as far as the defensive coordinator, just the linebackers or just the defensive line or just the secondary. I can be at the field level to see that. But when I'm talking about the whole defense, in this case with Coach Brown, he's trying to look at the whole offense. He's trying to see what the defense is trying to do to him. So being up in the box, being able to see the entire field might make a lot of sense. So he can kind of, build his strategy that way and kind of combat what the defense is trying to do. At that level, the guy played running back. He's not a big guy. So, he can't see too much. You know what I mean? Like, he can't see the guy at the corner on the
so you're saying on the other side. Because he's height deficient, he should be in the booth. Naturally, he should be in the booth.
Naturally. Yeah. And he's a smart guy. So hey, he can go to the right school, but hey, that's fine. Being up in the box, I think you get a big visual of what is happening. So I don't have a problem with it. For defensive purposes, I want to be on the field. I want to feel the energy. Yeah. I want to be there so I can see in Briggs' eyes if he got it today. I can see it.
And there's things that are happening when you're in the booth. There's things that are running through your head. Oh, okay, I see this. But what you don't hear is what guys are saying as they're coming off the field.
True.
You can get it. You might get you'll have a messenger because there's going to be a coach that's messaging you, but there's also a guy that's on that field. Like, listen, I'm killing this tackle right now, coach. Hey, coach, listen, I'm shooting to this backfield. You know, if we stay in that 8-man front, I'm good. I can plant my foot. I can get out of there. We can do this. We can run this. There's a feel for the game. It's on the defensive side. There's a feel for the game that you get from being on the sideline and not up in the booth.
We see that a lot. Like when you got a guy going in motion and there's a play that happened and the defensive coordinator or players are on the sideline, and as soon as this guy go in motion because you got that offset back, now you got 2x2, that is 100% screen. So when he go in motion, now you hear everybody going, screen. And you can't do that if you're in the booth. You can't.
You're not.
Do that.
You can do it, but nobody's going to hear you.
It's not going to be helpful. Yeah. Yes. It's not going to be helpful at all.
They'll be yelling, help. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but before we get over to that, make sure you hit the like button. Appreciate everybody hanging out here for the Briggs and Brown Show. After the break, we'll be talking about some things, some reports out there about maybe Tyson Bagent over Caleb Williams. Stay tuned for that. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to our guys over at Miller Lite. We appreciate Miller Lite, as always, for the sponsor here of the Briggs and Brown Show. A lot's changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Another thing that hasn't changed is that it's less filling. So what is the best thing about Original Light beer? Well, Miller Lite sparked this debate in 1975, and we still haven't settled it. As Briggs has got the simple Miller Lite keeps it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. Miller Lite is the official beer of the Chicago Bears. You don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. Make sure you go get yourself some Miller Lite. Love it. Quickly, too, I want to make sure everybody knows. Come out to the tailgate at the corner of Wabash and Cermak here this Sunday for Bears Packers. Every single tailgate we've done here for every home game has been a great turnout, and this is going to be a big one for Bears versus Packers. If you go to allchgo.com/events, you can get your tickets, and if you go to allchgo.com/diehard, you can become a diehard and get a discount on said event and a free shirt and everything else that comes with being a diehard here at CHGO Sports. All right, guys, I'm going to dial you guys up to this report that came out a few days ago from my guy, Marc Silverman, certainly making some waves with this headline as he reported that there were some veteran players that were petitioning for Tyson Bagent to play over Caleb Williams. Now, there has been conflicting reports since then. Some players such as Cole Kmet and some others saying that that wasn't true. And then there's also been some reports from other media guys like Brad Biggs this morning saying that he didn't find any truth to this report. But at the end of the day, Marc Silverman did put it out there. He certainly is connected. He is a radio host for the radio home of the Chicago Bears. So, I think it's not a report to be completely dismissed. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that report and what you guys think of the idea of Tyson Bagent starting over Caleb Williams, and if that's a necessary move that the Bears might need to make.
Go ahead, because you know how I feel about this.
All right, sure. Listen, do I think that there's something to this? Do I think somebody did speak on Bagent becoming the starter or sitting Caleb? I absolutely think something happened that caused Sylvie. Now, I've worked with Sylvie, and Sylvie he's very well connected, so if he's saying it, then he's hearing it from a viable source. Now, the first thing that happens when some sort of chaos is created within that locker room is everybody tightens real quick and to protect it and say, hey, that's not true. We're good. There's no issues. There's none of this. There's none of that. Okay. And we've seen plenty of that with the Bears this year. Do I believe that Bagent should get a shot? I think he's knocking at the door. I think he's certainly knocking at the door. And I don't think it's because I think it has more, in my opinion, to do with Caleb not being in such a, like, this development doesn't have to happen overnight. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Allow Bagent to come in and maybe give us, just like we had a change of guards at the OC, sometimes maybe a fresh face at QB. We're all familiar with Bagent. Bagent can get the ball out faster than anybody in America. All right, he did it since college. We know that. All right, and maybe just taking a back seat, even if it's for a half, maybe for a half, let him come back in, would be good for him.
Are you done?
Things have been handed to Caleb since he was in high school. Sometimes being humbled and taking a back seat for a game, for a half, for a quarter will help.
You need to stop.
Talk to me.
This man ain't nothing handed to him. He worked his ass off to get to where he's at. Don't sit up here and act like things have been handed to him. All right,
he has been the prodigal son since he was in high school.
He's been taught to do it. So was Peyton Manning. So is every damn quarterback that actually made it to the NFL. All of them were. They were taught to play the position. Different than you and I.
Right now he's not playing it very well.
What now?
Right now he's not playing it very well.
Right now, he's playing the quarterback position right at the level your guy, when he left, was playing it. So you're right. He's not playing very well. You're right. But
we don't need no extra attitudes. He's just not
y'all can kill all that backseat stuff. This is a front seat guy for about the next 10 to 12 years. Okay, y'all might well stop that. Like, Caleb ain't going nowhere.
I didn't say. Well, first of all, I didn't say he was going anywhere. I never said he was going anywhere. I never said I wanted him to go anywhere. I never said I wanted him to go anywhere. But there's okay. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. There's nothing wrong with being humble throughout your year. There's nothing wrong with being humble.
Who said he's not humble? Like, why does everybody say he needs to be humble?
When you're benched, you get humble. All right. When you were the starter and Mark Anderson came in and coach told you, he said, "Listen, Mark's going to take those third down." That is being humble.
That ain't humble me. Whoa.
Because humble me. Well, I mean, in a sense.
Oh, it pissed me off. That's what it did.
That's the humbling.
That ain't humbling. That's pissing me off.
You're off, right. And whenever you had an opportunity, you went out and you wrecked.
It has nothing to do with Caleb Williams and us.
Lovie told me that I will not be starting at the beginning of training camp. All right.
You know what you haven't done? You know what you haven't done? Nope. None of y'all. All y'all talking about replacing Caleb. Caleb's out there trying his ass off, and nobody's talking about DJ Moore walking off the damn football field. How about you sit him down? How about you humble him? How about you humble Stevenson? How about you see Davis? You see Davis ass been humbled.
Yeah.
Hey, they showed
none of those guys again. Look.
Come on now.
Listen, none of those guys. I'm talking specifically about 18 right now. That's what the question. The question was about 18. The question was about 18. It wasn't about the other guys.
It was about Bagent.
And one of the problems, but one of the problems is that
I ain't question Bagent, man. Bagent, if Caleb gets hurt, then sure, let's put Bagent in.
He almost got hurt. You know why he almost got hurt? Because he's holding the ball too long.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Caleb, keep doing your thing. Listen, the problem is gone. You're
the number one pick. You need to do your thing a little bit better.
Well, it's interesting because you say the problem is gone, and it's true. Like, as they fire people and you get rid of Nate Davis, and the light starts to shine on guys like Matt Eberflus, who holds a lot of accountability for the discipline of this team. And Caleb Williams holds accountability for himself. Go ahead, Alex.
Right. Hold on. The light is not just Eberflus. It's not just Caleb. the light is shining. When you let a guy like Davis go that you paid money for, you paid money for him and you cut him, the light come on a lot of guys, understanding that what I said, I think it was Monday. I think I said either Monday or Sunday that last time I checked, the Bears are $8 billion organization. That little $50 million they paying you, they will show you the door. So you need to do your job, appreciate your job. And there are guys on this football team that do not appreciate their job.
He's absolutely right. And the word on Davis before he got here was he was an issue at practice.
Agreed.
So what I mean, so the due diligence should have been done on him. We shouldn't have a guy that comes in that has this much off the field issues, and it carries over into. I don't even know if it carries over to him because he's sucked ever since he's gotten to the Bears. He's been bad.
And everybody that we've tried to replace him with outside of Pryor. So Pryor has been, I guess, he's been pretty good. We've only had good games running the football, and for that matter, as an offense, looking like an offense when Pryor was there. Yeah. So I'm good with that. I just think the light comes on with a lot of people when they start firing people that they have invested good money into.
So if we shouldn't have to defend, but Braggs, you should listen. The one thing we shouldn't have to defend now, even when Peyton Manning came in here his rookie year and through all the picks that he did, there were still signs of what we're looking for. Okay, we saw there was still progression during that year. Okay, so I don't want to. I'm tired of people just defending, the improductivity of 18. Be productive. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not asking you to be perfect, but show us what number one pick is supposed to be. Supposed to look like.
And I think the key word is details. That's all I keep hearing from the players and the coaches, or lack thereof. And when you read the tea leaves of the last few weeks of quotes coming out, you have Cole Kmet saying it's about what you do when no one's watching. And then you hear Jalen Johnson, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift say guys at practice aren't paying attention to the details as much as they should. You hear other quotes from players saying young players need to learn how to be a professional. And then when you combine that with –
Don't say that. Don't put names. Hold on, no. Don't put names on quotes and then say other people saying the main one when you say young people need to grow up or need to do whatever. Who said that?
Well, I'm telling you, DeAndre Swift and Jalen Johnson were the ones that were saying
so
this.
They said that young people need to start.
Yes, and Cole Kmet on the 85 talking with Adam Hogue.
Ones on the damn team. So
Cole and Jalen are the longest tenured Bears on this team. Cole was sitting in the studio talking with Adam Hogue, saying that how he can trust Jalen Johnson when they're not at House Hall because he knows he's putting the work in. Mm-hmm. And so for me, and then you hear Caleb Williams on Sunday after the game, he was asked, like, what are some of the things that he thinks he needs to do better? And he said one of the things he's been working on the last few weeks is asking for more details at practice. So I'm just trying to connect the dots. We're not in the locker room. We completely acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. But when I hear that word details coming from veterans, then I hear Caleb saying it. One of my biggest things when Caleb said it was, well, why aren't the coaches demanding the details? You shouldn't have to ask for them. The coaches should be demanding them. So I'm leading up to a question here. And I'm leading up to a question. I know it's long-winded, but from your guys' vantage point, when you last week we harped for 30 minutes about leadership and how we got 8 captains on this team and we got veterans speaking out. And my question is, if the details have been so bad at practice and the young players need to learn how to be professionals and there's so much, they get there on Sunday and everyone is making mistakes. How do you guys handle that in that locker room? Because I feel like there isn't enough getting in each other's faces. You had a quote from Keenan Allen yesterday saying that Shane Waldron was too nice, was letting stuff slide in OTAs and minicamp. So who's going to be the guy that's going to get at each other? Because you guys always cite Olin Kreutz would not put up with that crap.
No, hold on. Nope. There's certain stuff Olin don't know.
Yeah, because he was on the offensive side.
On the defensive side.
On the defensive side. Absolutely, right.
Like, you're gonna be like what Briggs is saying. You're gonna be put on the sideline if you ain't doing your damn job. That's it. Like that's what's gonna get your attention. And then we were so competitive on the defensive side of the football that you had to, or 54. Now 54 knew what everybody's supposed to do. So if you ain't doing your damn job, you go. You got
to realize this too. Like, if you have a bunch of guys that are a guy that wants to show some leadership, he's approaching a guy. He's saying what he's got to say. He's saying whatever it is he got to say to the guy. What motivates these guys? Like, what motivates these guys? Are these guys motivated by competition? I've always been motivated by competition. I was surrounded by guys. I was lucky enough to be surrounded by guys. Most of them that played for the Bears that were motivated by competition. But if these guys are motivated by money, if they're motivated by fame, if they're motivated by celebrity, if they're motivated by status, then once they've got it, you're talking to a wall. Mm-hmm. You're talking to a wall. A guy can't. If a guy lines up next to you, and the opposing player beats him, okay, and he's not pissed off. If he's just walking away, or if he's giggling, whatever it is, he's not motivated by competition. There's no way that a man on the other that doesn't wear our colored jersey. Shit, there's no way a man wears our own colored jersey. I'm just gonna let beat me, and I'm not gonna be pissed off about it because that's not gonna happen again.
Agreed.
So you know what I mean. So I don't know about this leadership stuff because you all of these guys can shout at each other. It doesn't matter if they're not motivated to go out there and compete.
The leaders are. I think it comes back to the leaders. I think it comes back to who is. There's so many leaders. Where are the followers at? You ain't no leader if you ain't got nobody following you. So they got following your footsteps, following the example that you're putting out there. So when I think it's remember the Titans, right? You remember that quote when they were he said, "You're the captain, right?" Yeah, you're the captain. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the captain." He's like, "I think leadership reflects
attitude reflects leadership." Yes.
It's like, well, there you go. So all this right here is gonna Eberflus can't keep firing everybody. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's all gonna hit him right in the face if this thing don't turn around.
And then the other problem with that too, AB, is if that's the type of leadership that you have on this team, you can fire some coaches, bring some new guys in. Mm-hmm. If you have the same team, you're going to get the same results. Yep. You got there has to be a silver lining here. There has to be a player. There has to be somebody that others will follow and say, okay, this is my role on this team. That's his role, and I'm going to help to facilitate our roles on this team. If you don't understand your role, then you guys are doomed.
The stuff that Keenan Allen said coming out was damning because, man, that is crazy that the coach just allows stuff to go. And all we've been hearing from Eberflus is everything about attention to detail. We don't let stuff slide. We don't let this. We always that is not what I'm hearing from one of your veteran players in Keenan Allen. That's not what I'm hearing.
His exact quote was, he was asked, why didn't it click with Shane Waldron? He said, too nice of a guy. OTAs, camp, we fell into a trap of letting things go and not holding people accountable, and that's a slippery slope. Just professionalism and doing things the right way from the beginning.
Yeah, you got to jump on somebody's ass every now and then. Like, it's ridiculous that you want to be somebody's friend. Like, that's not you got to. This is why I say you can't have a team full of good guys, full of nice guys. You need some hoodlums. You need somebody that do not give a damn about stepping on somebody's toes. I need you to do your job. That's it. If you don't do your job, that means I can't do my job. And if I can't do my job, I can't provide for my family. We got a problem.
You need a guy that rolls around with the pigs in the mud and milks the cows.
You need a hoodlum. You need a hoodlum. Hey, you need a hoodlum.
Do the dirty work.
Hey, you can get him from South Central LA, though. You can get a lot of them.
Well, I'll say I'll leave it with this because you guys talked about, like, hey, maybe some guys need to sit the bench. Not just talking about Caleb, but anybody on this team. And Bob Knight once said,
I'm not talking about Caleb ever.
Right.
Caleb included.
Well, Bobby Knight once said, the greatest motivator in the world is your ass on the bench. 100%. Ass meets bench. Bench retains ass. Ass transmits signal to the brain. Brain transmits signal to the body. Body gets ass off bench and plays better. It's a hell of a sequence.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end, people getting fired, people getting benched, that's going to be a way to wake some people up and stop having this choir boy routine that we're seeing in the locker room. Just talking about this, it's always the backup quarterback's always the most popular quarterback in Chicago. It's been this way our whole lives. Certainly my entire time as a fan. Rex is our quarterback. I mean, that was something that went on in your guys' day where people were calling for Kyle Orton. And but I'm also curious from I'm curious about your perspective of the Rex versus Orton stuff.
Terrible ass quarterbacks from your lifetime. You named the one that took us to a Super Bowl.
Listen, don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I did not. This is just what it was.
You could have said Henry Burris. You could have said anybody.
I was Team Rex, but all I know is there was a
Cordell
Rex
Stewart. You said Cordell
Stewart. Craig Krenzel.
Yeah, but none of those. Time out. None of those were quarterback controversies. The two that were to fans. You guys were in the locker room, and that's why I want to hear your perspective. Where fans were fighting over Rex versus Orton, and then for you, Briggs, Cutler versus McCown, which it certainly felt like in the locker room that there was a divide on players that felt like there was some that wanted Cutler and some that wanted McCown. You guys were in the locker room, so I want to hear your perspective on what were legitimate gripes from the players of who they actually wanted.
I'll say about the Cutler McCown deal. McCown, anybody who's been around Josh, like you love the guy, So in that situation, just the effect that he had in the huddle, and the thing about Josh isn't a big guy. So in order for Josh to be effective, he's like a Jeff Garcia. They have to step in to make their throws. If they're not able to step in, they won't make their throws. They won't make NFL level throws. However, the way that the huddle, the group, the offense responded, and even the defense responds, because when Josh would come off the field from offense, he's headed over to the defense, to cheer us on, and so it was the feeling was different between the two of them. Cutler was the more talented, but Cutler is going to make a ton of mistakes. He was throwing the ball away a lot. He was giving the ball to the opposing team. And Josh, if Josh is able to get protection the right way, we can be effective. We could be effective. However, everybody's got to be 100% or at least 95% on every play for Josh to be effective. But the effect that he has on the team was a much more positive one, and it instilled a lot more confidence, I think, in all of our players.
Really, really opens up my eyes to a couple of things that was going on here when McCown was here. Y'all needed him to come over and cheer y'all on to play defense. What a sad state of Bears defense.
Aren't you supposed to be talking about Rex and Orton? Why don't you talk about Rex and Orton, all right?
So Rex and Orton, there was no damn controversy. Rex was the better quarterback. Kyle started 15 games, I want to say, in 2005. Yep. And we went 11-5 during that season. And we scored 13 points a game. The next year, Rex started every game, and we scored 26.2. Like, there's a quarterback controversy. Like, and we went to the Super Bowl.
Right. How much have the Bears been scoring this year? Do you know?
I can find it. More than I probably shouldn't say that.
What you say now, Chuck?
I ain't say nothing, I ain't say nothing.
Hey, what are they averaging? What are they averaging right now? All right, let's see where Caleb and Orton land on this deal.
See, hey, you know what? Fine. Yep. Right. So we had a dominant defense. I'm talking about a
Yes.
Like generational type defense.
Yes.
The way we played in 05 during that era. So it was different. We played a different style of football. We were running the football a lot, and Kyle wasn't asked to do a whole lot. Rex came in, same defense the next year, but Rex kind of opened it up. So now we score more points, and we still had a pretty damn good defense. So it was like we just took off. And I just don't like the first quarterback that comes to mind when we think about the bad quarterbacks in Chicago Bears history over the last 40 years. I'll say people think about Rex. It's like he's the only one that took us to the Super Bowl. Like he's the only one. Jay Cutler, he didn't do it. I'm sorry. He got to the NFC Championship game. So you didn't get a ring. You have a ring at your house right now because of the play of Rex Grossman.
Well, he wasn't the only player that we had.
No. But he played a part in it.
He played a part in it. Absolutely. He absolutely played a part in it. Kyle played a part in it. Everybody, we all played. You played it. You played a part in it.
Huge part. Absolutely. Huge part. Huge. Right. Yeah, for sure. Right, I got to get you on track. Every time you don't know the damn play, asking me what the play is.
That is a falsehood. That is a falsehood and a falsity. All right. LB, little Boogie knew what to do.
So you guys were asking how many points per game the Bears are averaging this year. It's 19.4 points per game.
Way more than Kyle Orton in 05. Way more.
That's fair. Hey, that's fair.
God, our bar is so low.
What did Kyle average?
In 2005, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Because that is with
it was definitely. It was definitely
lower. That's with defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's with special teams touchdowns. We have not scored on defense this year or special teams.
We kick a lot of field goals.
No. I'm talking about touchdowns. It is 19
points. Typically, special teams gets the highest
score. Hold on. It says the Bears in 2005 had 16.3 points per game. 16.3.
Very close. That's very close.
That's close?
That's very close.
Stop it.
It is. It is. That's eerily.
And hold on. This is awful what we're seeing.
Braggs.
This is awful.
Braggs, listen.
The
season's not over. We've got plenty more. We're getting to the meat part of this season. So listen, in 2006. The Bears, you guys averaged 26.7 points per game. And what people don't remember about that season, because everybody says, they only had, the defense and Hester. But Rex, at one point during that season, won Player of the Month in, I believe, September. He lit up the Seattle Seahawks on primetime.
Yes.
The other thing about that team that people don't realize is while you guys were the number one ranked defense in the NFL, you guys were actually also the number one ranked offense in the NFL. And that was predicated by a run game that was unstoppable with an offensive line and Jason McKee as your fullback, where you guys would just line up and it didn't matter what the other team was putting at the defensive front. You guys were just – the Saints – game was a perfect example of that, where you guys had a touchdown drive where I think you ran it like 9 times in a row and the Saints had no answer for it, and Thomas Jones just walked right into the end zone.
Braggs, you remember that. Now tell me this, that team, top-ranked offense, top-ranked defense, without question the best special teams, that team hindered, and I ain't gonna say it's just all his fault, but he played a big part in it. The offensive coordinator didn't run the damn football, and it just diluted all that talent. Took it all away because it doesn't matter if they don't call the right plays.
You're talking about in the Super Bowl?
All you gotta do is run Thomas Jones. We have a bigger ring on our finger right now.
Yeah, it is definitely the truth. That game certainly wasn't a blowout. I don't have to tell you guys, it was 22-17. You get to the middle of the field, Rex finally completes a pass and you guys get to about the 50-yard line. I can remember yelling, "Run the ball." Don't get greedy. You get one completion, just keep running it. And I think, I've talked to Thomas Jones a few times on the air, doing a couple interviews with him, and I know your guys' frustration with whatever the reason why you guys were going away from Thomas in that game and letting Cedric get some touches, so be it. I mean, it's can't cry over
so the Rex versus Orton.
We paid too many wide receivers to not.
There's nothing Rex versus Orton.
We paid too many people to not run the ball. It's been that everybody in Chicago says it all the time. We even us here are still saying the same things that we were saying everybody was saying back in 2006. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Right. We paid too many wide receivers. We paid too many of those guys outside for us to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Yeah, and you know what? It's
you saying that's why we did it? That's why we didn't run it? We paid the receivers?
I'm talking about right now.
Gotcha.
These days. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been clear about that.
Well, we just saw Shanahan do it with not just, but 4 or 5 years ago, we saw him do it with Garoppolo. They paid Garoppolo $100 million and gave up draft capital to get him from New England. They bring him in and he threw the ball 9 times in the NFC Championship game. You don't have to do it. You do what win.
Yeah, I hear you, but again, all right, you say that, but the NFL isn't made up of a bunch of Shanahans. It's not. It's not made up of guys that are like, listen, I'm going to do what it is that we need to do to win this game. No, yes. I'm going to get the ball to the guys that make the most money on our team, and those are my receivers or my tight ends. And my quarterback. That's what we're going to use. We're going to use those guys.
I just want them to learn. That's all. I want them to learn, to look and learn from history. Shanahan did it because the reason he did it in that NFC Championship game is because in the Super Bowl, when he was the OC for Atlanta, he tricked it off and was throwing the ball and allowed New England to come back on him. So he learned from his mistakes.
Agreed. But AB, if you're the head coach of a given team, let's just say you're the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, okay? Uh-huh. and you're paying these wide receivers, you're paying your quarterback, you have a great run game, all right, because that's what you believe in, all right. Your running game is effective, all right, and we're getting to the situations where listen, I'm your boss, all right. I'm the owner of the GM, and I'm coming down. I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm glad that we're successful and we're in first place right now. Looks like we're going to make the playoffs. Looks like we're going to. But I'm going to need you to get the ball out to our the guys that make the most amount of money. Okay, those are the guys that are selling tickets. I'm going to need you to get the ball to them a little more. Can you get that done? Okay,
you know what team does that? They ain't won in 40 years, and that is the Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, coach. Listen, head coach. Listen. I just got off my yacht. I took my helicopter here to get here to tell you, listen, I need you to get the ball to this guy, my receivers, and I need my quarterback to have more production. Can you get that done?
Oh, I'm the coach.
Yes, you're the coach.
Yes. All right. Well, coach, listen, you hired me to do a job. If you don't want me to do this job the way that I believe we should be doing it, then I shouldn't be the coach here.
Well, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing.
Okay, I want you to know your yacht.
Listen. I need you to know before I get back on my chopper and get back to my yacht. I need to know that you're going to get the ball to the players that I just discussed with you.
I am going to do what I believe is best for this team as long as I'm the head coach of this football team that you hired me to coach. That is what I'm going to do. I promise you that.
You're a company guy. You're a company guy. You were going to be like, okay, I'll work on that.
Absolutely
what?
Not. Absolutely not.
This is what the company wants, and you're not going to do it?
No chance. No chance.
Get out of here.
I am so rebellious. I don't know why you even say that. I am terrible. I am so rebellious.
Listen, Braggs, anybody that says they're rebellious is not rebellious. They don't even know what rebellion is.
That's not true. Because I said
I am so rebellious. Like he's trying to convince me.
How many people came how many people from your high school? How many people from your high school made it to the NFL? Ever?
High school?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's more than just you.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Cartwright went to my high school, man.
NBA players and everything. Oh, okay.
Man. Chip Cecil's brother went to my high school.
I'm rebellious in this.
Listen, matter of fact, why you talking about it? That's my high school right here. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Elk Grove Herd.
Where the thunder will be heard.
That's an interesting.
That's 1892.
Jeez. That's an interesting tidbit that Bill Cartwright went to Lance Briggs' high school. That's interesting.
Like, I'm the only one that went to and I'm rebellious in this sense that you can't tell me I can't do something, then I will prove you wrong. That's what I'm saying when I say nobody else has ever gotten a full scholarship from my high school, let alone made it to a league. Any league. Shit. So, like, that's the difference is what I'm saying.
How many people were in your high school? Like 12?
Nah, my graduating class was 121.
Man.
Listen, classmates can't be chickens.
That's just enough to have two football teams play each other. That's interesting. So, I'll say this much when it comes to, the points per game and teams that have been successful here in Chicago. The common denominator for offenses here in Chicago that have been successful have been offensive lines. And until the Bears get a consistent offensive line like they did obviously in 2006, which wasn't just consistent with continuity playing every game together, but they also were high-end talented players. But even in that, first Trestman year where there was some success offensively, the offensive line, each one of those guys across the board, Jermon Bushrod, Kyle Long in his rookie year, Jordan Mills, they played together every game that whole season. They might not have been top-end talent, but they played together all year, and I think the Bears are still searching for that offensive line combination as they released Nate Davis here just yesterday, I believe. So all of my days are kind of getting combined. We're starting to get around in third on this show, and I know we have a few different topics we still have to hit, but of course it is Packer week. This is probably for Bears fans the least anticipated Packers game in quite some time with everything going on. But let's get into your guys' Bears-Packers preview. Obviously, this is a Packers defense that is one of the tops in the leagues in sacks, one of the tops in the league in turnovers. So when we're talking about all this offensive struggle, they certainly are going to have a tall task against a very tough defense. And then you flip it to the other side where you have Matt Eberflus having a lot to prove, as the defensive coordinator going up against one of the better play callers in the league and Matt LaFleur. So curious to hear your guys' perspective on this big matchup here on Sunday on the lakefront.
So do you want our favorite moments?
No. We're just going to break down the game itself.
You can give your favorite moment later, though.
If you want. Okay, yeah, I'm excited about that. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one for a few reasons. And I think the number one reason for me is the Bears haven't proven that they can beat the damn Packers, So, and this year doesn't look any different. There's nothing the Bears have done right now that has given me confidence going into this game to say, listen, the Bears are going to go in here and they're going to win this game. They're going to find a way to win this game. Actually, it's actually more of the flip side where the Bears are going to do something to find a way to lose this game, even when it's close, and unfortunately, that's just where we're at right now in the state of the Bears.
Well,
go ahead, fellow.
Go ahead.
I
don't think the Packers have been playing. They're not world beaters, okay? I think some of these teams we saw early on, I think they're coming back to earth a little bit, including the Minnesota Vikings. I think Detroit is on Pluto right now or wherever. They're not of this earth.
Well, we couldn't be further in the earth right now.
we are
in the mantle. But below the mantle.
So is the Packers, and so are the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're on earth. They're back on earth. They want to run the football. So we have to stop the run. That's first and foremost. And then they have a quarterback that I was screaming last year. I want a quarterback like they have the last game of the season. So now they have weapons. Our defense got their hands full.
And their quarterback's throwing a lot of picks too.
And say again?
The quarterback's throwing plenty of picks too.
He will give the ball away. That is something that we haven't seen since Brett Favre from the quarterback position out of Green Bay. We didn't see it with Aaron Rodgers all those years. He would not give the ball away. It's very tough for him for you to get an interception on him. But this guy will throw you the football. If you get a little pressure on him, he will throw you the football. So that is stop the run, get takeaways. that is how we beat this football team. We have to be able to run the football. I'm not saying I don't want to sit up here and talk about that we're not going to beat them. I want to talk about how we can beat them, and that is a recipe to go out and beat this team. What all the players on this team, even the 1 year
144 yards rushing.
No, I get it. But that's game to game. That's game to game. That's game to game because the last 3 games we've been awful. The 3 games before that, they were very formidable and they were scoring points up and down the field. So people they tend to forget that. These guys didn't forget how to play football. So what they're gonna understand is that if you beat Green Bay, you have a shot. That's all Chicago care about. Beat Green Bay. You can get through this season, but you got to beat Green Bay. So go out and win this damn football game. Go out and win this football game, and then you got a chance to actually start something up and get a little confidence about yourself.
Sounds good.
I know it sounds good.
That sounds good.
Talk about
sounds good. I could have given that speech. I could have given that speech, that motivational speech. But listen, let's talk about the reality. Let's talk about the reality. The reality, last week they gave up 144 yards. 44, okay? 44. All right. The Bears have not been stopping the run lately, as of late. And all of a sudden it's going to start this week against a team that absolutely is going to run the ball.
Oh, you're talking about the defense?
I'm just talking. You said they need to take the ball. They need to stop the run and take the ball away.
Correct.
What I'm saying is the Bears haven't been so great at stopping the run as of late. All right. And so now all of a sudden they're gonna get in their gaps and they're gonna stop them this week.
I mean, they did it before, yeah. Like they haven't done it in 3 years. I mean,
that's such an exaggeration.
What are you talking about? We're talking about they've done it this year. Like, okay, they've done it this year. Like, all right,
okay, then the run, and you take the ball away. Then you take the ball away. TJ Edwards, good job on his interception last week. All right, they also have to score on defense because right now our offense that we're kicking. Well, we kicked a field goal, but we're kicking field goals right now. We're not putting points on the board. All right, we're not producing offensively. So you're asking a whole hell of a lot, and you're also
no. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm not asking a lot. I'm asking you to go do your job. That's it. Defense, go do your job.
And you want the offense to do their job too, and special teams to do their job.
Agreed.
So for the current state of the Chicago Bears, that's asking a whole hell of a lot.
I think the defense is playing at a par level coming into this season. We knew that was going to be the heartbeat of this team. They are not playing like it. Go play like a top 5 defense. Now, we've had some bumps and bruises. We've had some guys in and out, whether that's Gordon, Brisker. You got the defensive end. Montez Sweat. You got Montez Sweat. He kind of nicked up. You got Billings out. So, there's a lot of issues going on right now.
And the distractions. There's a bunch of distractions at Hollis Hall right now.
Don't allow that. That's up to you to allow the distractions to get in.
But the distractions are coming. They're not just they're coming from within, AB. When you have guys that walk off practice, all right, there's a state of the Bears that's happening right now.
Okay, so how do we beat Green Bay? Do we just not show up?
I just told you how I felt about the deal, man.
Do we just not show up?
There's stuff that sounds good, and then there's the state of the current Bears right now. There's something going on, and the problem that I see is that I had never seen our locker room. I had never seen our locker room the way that our locker room was when Trestman got hired. Mm-hmm. I didn't recognize the way that we were. And I'm going to say, there's a bunch of great guys that were in there still. There's a bunch of great guys. A lot of young guys, and a lot of young guys that especially would turn to an older guy like me, and I just saw the removal of so many great men in that locker room and this change to, kumbaya. It was kumbaya. And it was everybody's the captain, and all we did. And I'll tell you this: during the Trestman years, I've never fought so much at practice. All we did, AB, is fight each other.
That's crazy.
It was a fight here. It was a cheap shot here, fight there, fight here. I had never fought so much, and we got into it. We got into it during our years, but it was never like this, man. This is when
Right.
they talk about the inmates run the asylum. I'm like, I don't recognize this place. I am ready to retire.
No, that's tough right now. All right, let's go ahead because this is negative, right? I want to know.
But you got to go win.
I want to know your best Packer moment. That's what I want to know. I want to know your favorite Packer moment.
All right, I have a bunch. So every time somebody says this, I can pick a different one each time. All right, but this one in particular, all right, it involves you and Wale. Okay, so we first game of the season, we beat Green Bay 26-0. Okay, we beat 26-0. Great game. Blow them out, shut them out. Yep. Awesome, great Bears moment. And during that game, Brett Favre is playing quarterback. And I remember actually prior to this play, you and Wale were fighting over a sack. You guys were talking about a sack. You were like, man, I got there first. You guys are always bickering over that stuff. So on this play, you guys are both in. Brett Favre, he starts to drop back and he trips and falls. You and Wale on your pass rush had hit the ground and you were like inching toward him, trying to fight to get to Brett Favre. Like so bad, right? I wasn't on a blitz, but it opened up wide. I'm telling you, the line opened up wide, and I saw Brett Favre run out, laying down on the ground, just holding the ball. Like he wasn't going to throw it either. So I sprinted up, and before you and Wale could reach out to touch Brett Favre, I touched him with one finger and got the sack.
You know what? I remember
that moment.
I remember that moment. I actually have a picture of it. I'm hoping Braz can pull it up. It's actually me, you, and Lack.
Okay.
And the play, I see you do get there first, but the picture, once he pulls it up, it's going to show all three of us there, and that ain't how it works. If you just wind it back, that finger come on that finger and get there first. I remember that. Hey,
ran off. Yes.
Back then, see, now I don't think that's counted as a sack. It's not counted as a sack. If they fall, it's counted as a play that you. It's not a sack. Whatever. It's not a sack anymore. But back then, you just got to put a finger on him, and we got one, and you just run off. I already got it. I got me one like that.
Oh yeah.
But I remember that play. I love that. I love that picture too. So,
all right, what's yours?
These are personal, guys. So these are our individual moment, like not the team stuff. So I love the 26-0 win. I don't remember. I don't think we've shut them out since. I don't believe. I have to go back and look, but I don't think we've shut them out since. Blocking the field goal in 2000, I want to say it was 2008. Blocking the field goal with 11, 12 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah.
Blocked the field goal. We ended up going in overtime to win. It was the coldest game in Soldier Field history. It was absolutely disgusting. Disgusting.
That was Monday night.
My hand hurt for 3 days.
That was Monday night?
It was either Sunday or Monday.
It was a Monday night. It was a Monday night. Yes.
Unreal.
I remember that. And I remember hitting the running back, whoever the running back was, and we were headed to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
We were probably about 8 yards from the sideline. And I think I understood what he understood. Like, listen, you just put force against me, I'll put force against you, and we can run this thing all the way out of bounds and not have to hit the ground.
Hey, I know we call that. We call that brother-in-law.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to that 26-0 win. All right, so after that win, I remember we were like, hey, we need to get the Gatorade, dump the Gatorade on Lovie, right? Yes. So what people don't understand, is the two guys that were going to dump the Gatorade on Lovie was me and Alex, okay? So we get this deal. When I grabbed it, I was like, man, either we're really strong. This thing is really light.
That was his first win.
That was the first win. Okay, that was the first win. Okay.
That was his first win with Packers.
And I'm like, man, this thing feels kind of light, right? I'll tell you, when we go to dump this on Lovie, I'll tell you, a little drip of water comes out of there. I'm very sure we probably banged the bucket on his head.
We did.
We banged the bucket on his head.
I was like, oh Lord, my bad, coach, my bad. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that was I remember running because he had left and we trying to find the cooler and we're running with the cooler in our hand, like trying to, hey, where you at? All right. And we dump it in that the little piece that you close
it. Come off
inside the head. Oh Lord. My bad, coach. We just happy, man. We just happy. Like, God. No, hey, when Lovie got here, I was asked about him going on stage, and the first thing he said, we're gonna blah blah blah, do this. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna beat the Packers. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute, hold on, coach. Have you seen the last few games against the Packers? Woo. Like, I don't know if we want to just come out like that and just say that shit because they've been beating the brakes off us. So that's why it was so exciting when we won and we beat them, because I've said it before. You can hate Green Bay all you want. They do it the right way. Somehow, their bad years, they're 8-8. Yeah. They are now these days 8-9. Mm-hmm. Our bad years, we got the number one pick. Yeah. Like, there has to be a way that it ain't recruiting, it's how they draft. They have to draft so well because it is so difficult to get a big time free agent convinced to come up to Appleton. Yeah. So you're right. They have to draft so well, and they get these players. But I mean, hey, it's just
I'll tell you this: as long as we keep drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that and following the rest of the trends of the league, I think things will always be the same until we decide. Until we bring somebody in here and do it the Bear way. This is the Bear way. Is the Bear way and how we evaluate. We evaluate the way that we evaluate, not based off of what Green Bay or what somebody else does. So we have to have a way that we evaluate that is effective for the Chicago Bears.
With that, I'll say this right here about that, because I don't. I've thought about that a lot, and the Chicago Bears are. I think we have more Hall of Fame players than any other team. We do not have a receiver. We have one quarterback, Sid Luckman, back in the 50s. We run the football. We got three running backs. Rick Grange, Gale Sayers, Walter Payton. I think Matt Forte should be somewhere in that conversation at some point. But we know how to run the football. Jay Hildenberg just went in. So you got him. You got offensive lineman and the rest defense. Mongo and the rest defense, right? So we play great defense and we run the football. That's what we do. But in order to do that, you have to get so much right. Like, when we really look at what Jerry Angelo, the general manager, when we were playing, the things he did, the pieces that he put together, you have to get it right. Second round pick out of Louisiana in Charles Tillman, and he becomes what is possibly going to be a Hall of Fame career. You got to get right in the third round, where you get a linebacker out of Arizona, a former fullback / running back, to play have a Hall of Fame career in the NFL in Lance Briggs. You got to get it right every single time, and you have to get so much right. But then when you look at somebody that got the quarterback position right, like Kansas City, they can get rid of Tyreek Hill and win 2 more titles and be undefeated the third year. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to get everything right. You can look at New England, what they did when they got the quarterback right. Everything else can change, but the quarterback position, if it's correct, you can continue to win and be competitive. That is why I think we should be looking for a quarterback. If we don't, in fact, have that guy right now, I think we do. But if we do not, we got to continue to look for that quarterback.
I don't think you ever reach for that position. I think that there's one that fits the quality that you need, and if he's not there, then let's try to get him in the following season, in the following draft, if we can.
So you're just gonna punt? You can't punt seasons. You got to have a system.
If you got a fourth rounder named Torrey Taylor, you can punt whatever you want.
So I failed you as your producer here. I know you're looking for a specific photo. I did find this photo on your Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Cannot find the.
All right, so this photo, I had already got the sack.
That photo.
He's actually chasing me right now, trying to ask me if I got that sack right now. I already touched it. I already put a finger on Favre, and I'm gone.
Hey, you see how dead that right arm looked, man? I couldn't feel nothing.
And then we've got this photo of what you're talking about in the negative 20-degree weather. My wife and I were sitting.
Braggs. I don't even see. Okay, Alex is right there.
Yeah,
Alex you didn't find the football. You know where I'm at. Find the football, buddy. Yeah.
It looked like Izzy got it.
No, he didn't.
No, Alex got it. Thank you very much. I was at the game. My wife and I were sitting at the very top of the stadium. The beer was freezing in people's cups. It was unbelievable. So, like I said, I wasn't able to find the specific photo. Maybe we can find it for Sunday, the Briggs and Brown post-game show. But luckily enough, since I went through your Instagram, I did find some other photos. It's getting to be Christmas season here soon, Alex. And just, I don't know what your thoughts are with this outfit.
You look like a background dancer.
No, hey y'all, go look at this right here. Briggs, Braggs, it is the first one. Look here. This is the picture
5 heartbeat
that Lance is talking about.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I failed you. Okay.
This is the picture that he barely got there, and that's old Favre. I mean, we were going after him. We were trying to get there, man. He got a sack.
Like the Highlander. Braggs, there can only be one.
The issue I have with that is that when he's sitting in the room and he's talking about his contract, they don't bring up sacks. They don't bring up how many sacks you got. So y'all need to let your boy get that sack because that's all they talk about. They don't care how many tackles I have.
Hold on a minute, Braggs. This coming from the guy that says, no, you got to earn it. You got to earn it. Why don't you just give me a sack?
Once I saw Brett Favre give that sack to Michael Strahan in the record, that shit went out the window.
We did. I did come across 2 more photos. We need to bring this guy on at some point. And then finally, the final picture, Alex. The final picture, Lance, and I know you're going to enjoy this one. This is a young Alex Brown.
Yeah, buddy.
You want to talk about country, boy? You look country in this one, boy.
Is that a program for a college football team, or is that in the X-rated? Is that in the X-rated aisle?
I'm on the cover, man. You see that? You see that 13?
You look like a runaway slave.
That herringbone, that 13, baby. You see it? Come on.
You look like a runaway slave, boy.
It looks like a porno.
Oh, Lord.
That is wow. What's wrong with you, bro?
All right, so
come on, dog.
Oh, well, I mean, for real. Like,
you look like Django.
Hey, listen. Hey, you know what? I'll take that. Django wasn't nothing to play with, though. Hey, you don't play with Django, bro.
Oh, man.
You know what's so crazy? What's so crazy is, boy, hey, listen. I thought I was ready. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to be on the cover of this place. Hell yeah.
Alex Brown all grows up. Oh, man. All right. Well, I know we wanted to talk about college football, but I think we should probably save that for next week. College football playoff, I know it's something that you guys certainly want to talk about, but I think we still have a few more weeks till we get there. So we, it's always good to keep good topics in the holster. We're at an hour 15 mark here on this one. This has been a great show, man. So really appreciate all your guys' insight and stories as always. Once again, everybody tuned in, please hit that like button for these guys putting in the work here as always. And we appreciate everybody tuned in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you are following our Instagram account on the Briggs and Brown Show on Instagram as well. So many different things coming out. And, of course, the Briggs and Brown post-game show will be on Sunday after Bears versus Packers, and we'll see what the Bears got. I'll let you guys take it from here, and we'll close this thing down.
Go ahead, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, come back next week after the Bears victory. Let's go, Bears. Bear down, baby.
Sounds good.
We all silly like the mayor.